is? What's good, people? It's I, Wini, your favorite British locked YouTuber. If this is the first time that you're watching a video of mine, welcome to this channel. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you're notified every single time that I upload. If you're an oldie and you come back to watch, to say some mine again, mwah, love you long time. Thank you so much for the support. As you guys can see by today's title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 things that I would do differently if I had to restart my lock journey. Let me just put a disclaimer out there. I love my locks. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love my hair. I do. Ooh. I've loved my locks. I've loved my lock journey. I've loved everything that I've learned about my hair since doing this lock journey, everything that I've learned about myself during this lock journey. I love what my locks have allowed for me to become during this lock journey. However, if for whatever reason I had to restart my journey, these are just 3 of the things that I would do differently. I would have much thicker locks because I love thick locks. I love the look of it. It just looks so healthy. It looks so strong. To me, it has a very powerful meaning when I see somebody and their locks are just super duper thick and healthy and it's got lushy, thick roots. When I started my lock journey, I started off with somebody that didn't know much about locks. So I started it by having my hair in plaits. So, you know, the normal 3-strand plaits that you'd have it in. The person did it for me medium size, but I found she didn't do all the sizes the same. And what I found is, correct me if I'm wrong, different parts of your hair grows at different paces. It grows at, it's the word density, but some parts grow thicker compared to other parts. And what I found is the kind of like the front of my hair isn't as thick as compared to like the middle and the back. So in turn, what happened was, because when it was started, not all of them were equally, you know, the same size. A lot thinned out as it was growing out, and I feel that had it had just all been plaited thick from the jump, then I would have had less issue. And yeah, there's the option of combining locks, and yes, I have, you know, over the years had to combine locks and whatnot, but I don't think it's the same as you just having it a certain size from the jump. And also what I found is I'm 10 years, well, almost 10 years into my lock journey, and it's much easier to combine your locks from when it's a baby. So in my opinion, I would say from when you're starting it to maybe up until a year and a half, maybe, you know, when it's at that starter lock stage, it's much easier to combine it compared to when you're, let's just say, 7 years into your lock journey. It's harder to get them to fully form, and that's just my personal opinion. My second point is, I would not have them interlocked. Now, the reason why I went down the interlock method when I first started my locks is because it took my hair about 10-11 months, between 9 to 11 months roughly, to fully mat together. And when I was reading into interlocking or watching videos at the time, the general theme was, oh, you know, to help your hair mat quicker, then, you know, interlocking is the way to go. Interlocking lasts longer than retwisting. Interlocking helps your locks, you know, lock up very quickly. That was the whole general theme. I found that to be semi-true. I found that interlocking, for me, this is my opinion personally, helps to give the illusion that your locks are locks. Do you get what I'm saying? It gives the illusion that your hair is locks, because obviously you've kind of knotted it up from the root. So to somebody that's maybe from far, whatever, it looks locked up. However, I found that, do they actually help my locks mat together properly? Absolutely not. It's true that when you have your hair interlocked, then, you know, it lasts longer, especially for those of you that, you know, work out a lot, you're running, you're jogging, whatever it may be. When you're sweating, that interlock will take a very long time for your locks to appear that it's grown out. That's a fact. However, what I found from my hair is, especially now that, so basically I was having my hair interlocked, I think for about the first 4 or 5 years of my lock journey, and then I was like, nah, I don't like how interlocking has my locks looking. I'm gonna go down to retwisting. And by going down that method and going down that route later on in my lock journey of retwisting, I can tell the difference straight up. Like, I look at my locks and I can see where, you know, the interlock kind of started and where my normal retwist, obviously, from my roots to start. There's a difference. There's a difference in how my locks look. You can see by sometimes the kind of pattern in your lock, sometimes the knot in your lock, sometimes the curl back pattern. And not even just that, but I've also found out sometimes when I'm looking at my locks, I can see that even though I'm almost 10 years into my lock journey, some parts of my locks didn't fully mat. They were like pressed together, but they weren't matted, so they're quite loose, if that makes any sense. So me personally, I definitely wouldn't go via the interlocking route if I was to redo my journey. I would work more on being patient and just giving my locks time to allow for it to mat. You know what, one thing that I loved was, I think I remember ages ago I was watching, I can't remember, it was a Locs YouTuber, I can't remember which YouTuber it was, and I was reading a comment section below and somebody had written that back in the day when you was getting your hair locked, all of this fancy things that all of us newbies are doing wasn't necessary. It was like, you want to lock your hair, cool, you know, you just leave it freeform, or you put it in plaits and you just leave it alone and allow it to do its thing, and obviously you moisturize it and wash it and all of that. But all this kind of extra things that us newbies or millennials are doing is unnecessary. And you know what, that person was absolutely right, because at the end of the day, locks is a natural style, and I feel like, this is my opinion, you know, it may be, you don't have to agree with me, but I feel like personally, if I was going to redo my lock journey, I would want to go down a much more natural route, kind of just let me just leave my hair to just do its thing and it will just figure itself out. My last but not least point, I would not bleach my locks. Some of you may be aware, some of you may not be aware, but I will put up pictures here. At the earlier stages of my lock journey, I had my hair bleached, I had my hair like bright red, I had it in 3-tone colors. I'd gone to professionally get it done, and obviously for them to have it the colors that it was, it had to get bleached. Now, although I did do the good thing of getting it professionally done and not doing it myself, what I found is, yes, it looked lovely, yes, it added character to my locks, yes, it kind of made me stand out from the crowd. But I found that over the years what happened was my locks started to dry out. Like, you could physically see that it was dry, crispy, crunchy, and just generally unhealthy. And that ain't it. If I was going to do my lock journey, I would not go anywhere near getting my locks bleached. Also, for me, if I was going to restart my lock journey, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't dye my locks, because that would be a massive cap, that would be a lie. But what I would do is I would use like a natural hair dye that doesn't require for me to bleach my hair in any shape or form. The best decision that I done for my hair was dyeing it jet black some years ago. People keep asking me up until now, like, oh Winnie, have you dyed your hair? I haven't dyed my hair for a very long time. I cannot remember, roughly I would say easy about 3 years now. I haven't dyed my hair. I just leave my hair the color that it is, and I keep it stepping. And as you guys can see, not only does my locks like look healthy, yeah, but it actually feels healthy. And I found that bleaching it obviously, bleaching is not a natural process. It requires a lot of chemicals, and for me it's just not, it's not it. Honestly, it looks great, but it's not it. And not only that, but I forgot to say that it also gave the look of my hair being dehydrated. It's like, no matter what you do to your hair, you could do hot oil treatments, you could spritz it, you could oil it, you could do whatever you wanted to, it would always have that continuous dehydrated look, and I hated that so frigging much. But you know what, I would be really curious to know, if you had to restart your lock journey, what would you do differently? Let's discuss in the comment section below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on that. Also, if you have any video suggestions for me, please do leave them below in the comment section below as well. Thank you very much for watching, and until my next video, mwah, take care, be good.